So this video is going to be talking about nutrition. Nutrition, by definition, is providing and obtaining food for health and growth.
Yes, exactly. And if you've ever had the question of, how do I eat better? And then you have that question, and then that question is instantly brought down by all the thoughts of, oh, I have to spend more money to eat better. Or I have to spend more time to eat better. I have to cook and do all this, and I have a job, I have kids, or maybe you don't have kids, or who knows what you have, but you in your head you feel like you don't have the amount of time to do it, right? Well, in this video we're going to explain to you why you can actually save time and save money, and it's as easy as doing everything you were doing before, okay? And there was a man, an Australian man, he went for an entire year on just potatoes. He survived an entire year on a variety of potatoes. It's ridiculous what he did. But he was healthier, he lost weight, and he did something that showed a lot, and he's going to explain.
So potatoes are the only plant you can actually survive off of, and he was eating about 8 to 10 pounds of potatoes a day. And at the end of it, he was actually healthier than he was before. So with potatoes, with any kind of food, you can cook it in all kinds of different ways. So one of the ways you can cook a potato is you slice it thinly, and then you put it into a boiling pit of this gnarly fat.
Gnarly.
And then you just take it out. You put all this artificial preservatives, artificial flavorings, colors, and salts, and all kinds of unneeded things. And then actually you're most likely not even doing that because you're allowing somebody else to do that, maybe like Lay's or something like that. And it's in this nice little packaging, and you just grab it and eat it. Now, is that a potato or is that a chip? Because I think that it's a chip completely. And can you eat 8 to 10 pounds of chips a day and survive?
It's potatoes, though.
I don't know about that. You went through a lot of processing. Like a lot of processing.
Exactly, okay? And so what we're basically saying, guys, is there's a ginormous difference between food that goes through tremendous processing, whether it's artificial flavoring, like he said, or modified starches, or whatever it is. And the funny thing is how can a modified starch be an ingredient? Right?
Like, how is it modified? Well, what does that even mean? What is artificial flavors? Like, are you going to tell me what chemicals you're using? No, you're just going to blandly say artificial flavors. And that's ridiculous. If you take a bag of Kraft cheese, it says natural cheese on the front. Well, awesome. But you flip it to the back and it says modified cornstarch. How can something modified be natural?
Exactly.
Like, is natural the same thing as organic? No, absolutely not.
I mean, Cheez-Its, like they put a Z there for a reason, right? And on the back, when it says, like he said, modified, artificial, all this stuff, right? They're crafting the cheese at that point. They're just crafting the cheese. What is the cheese? Who made the cheese? And is there any remnants of real cheese there? I don't know.
Like, cheeses have a Z because they can't use an S because there's no cheese in it.
Exactly. So when you see things like natural, or you see things like fresh, understand that can all be manipulated, right? The only true definition that's there is organic, right?
Yes, the FDA actually has a definition for organic. They have regulations for it and so forth. For natural, they have no regulations, no definition, no nothing. So
just because it says natural does not mean it is healthy. Okay, that is what we're trying to get here. That there is manipulation in language, and it's not right. And they're doing that for profit and so many other things. We're about to explain now about time and money, how that is not an issue, because it's not an issue. Okay, money, right? One meal, right, averagely at home costs about $1 to $5. Okay, to go out it costs about $12.50. Right? So right there, and not only that, going out, you got to drive there, you got to order the meal, you got to drive home. In most families, I'd presume, or even single, we socialize with the people around us, blah blah blah. Maybe you drink, and you typically end up spending more money, right? And if you try to cheap it out, right, you try to go as cheap as you can, you're gonna end up at McDonald's eating things that
you do not want to be eating.
You don't even know. And these things cause effects that you may not see right now, but my buddy Franklin, he's becoming a doctor, and you'll probably see him.
Yeah.
Right? So, that kind of covers time and money there. And another thing is, if time is even a really big issue, and you have a crazy schedule, most people have Sundays off, or they have the weekends off. right? Or they have time a few hours throughout their week to do certain things, right? You can go, and whether it's potatoes, whether it's chicken, rice, oh my gosh, chicken is insanely cheap.
Rice is insanely cheap.
You can get 10 chicken breasts, right, for like $8, $7, right? Rice is ridiculously cheap. Y'all know what that is. And so on a Sunday, you can spend about an hour or two making, 4 or 5 meals, 6 meals, or you can spend the day making meals for 2 weeks, right? So then it's just go and go. Meals are ready. And not only that, these meals are healthier. You handled the processing, right?
You become a chef.
You became the chef. You know what? If you're gonna say time and money's an issue, you are lazy. And I'm here to tell you, you are lazy. All right, and you got to fix that habit.
And there's one meal that everybody likes, that everybody thinks is healthy, and that's called a smoothie. And you just put a bunch of like fruits and stuff. It doesn't. It could be
Fruits aren't that
vegetables.
expensive. And you know how many? If you spend $20 on fruit, $20 on fruit, right? And you get a thing of strawberries and raspberries and blueberries and all this. Yeah, it's $20. And some may say that's kind of expensive. How many smoothies can you make with that?
A lot.
A lot.
And how much time does it take?
And how much better are you gonna feel?
A lot.
Okay. And he'll go in now. He's gonna go in now to how he'll explain.
So basically, an average American diet or a Western diet is going to be only taking in about 20 to 30% of the nutrients or nutrition you actually need. Now, this is not to say that you're not taking in enough energy, which is calories, and you're most likely taking more calories than you actually need. So there's a big five, like the big 5 categories of things you need to intake. That's carbs, proteins, fats, minerals, and vitamins. Now, with an average American diet, it's most likely lacking hugely in the minerals and vitamins. And for example, zinc is a mineral that you need, and if you don't have enough zinc, you're most likely not having enough testosterone, because zinc is directly in relationship with testosterone production. Now, for example, with fats, there's only 2 essential fats you actually need to intake, which is omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 fatty acids, if you have too much of that, you're most likely having inflammation of some kind. So you maybe are having joint pain or something like that. If you're not having enough omega-3 fatty acids, then you're most likely having some sort of brain malfunction, in the sense of like you need omega-3 fatty acids to think correctly, essentially. And everything in the body is going to be some sort of balance. You need some sort of balance.
An equilibrium. And you know what? If you want to run faster, if you want to heal quicker, if you want to memorize things quicker, it has to do with those nutrients and those vitamins and just the minerals and all of that stuff. And from the average diet, you're not getting it. And if you're wondering why you're getting sick more often, or if you're, like in the first video, anxiety and depression, it's ridiculous.
So the only difference between a medicine and a poison is dosage. And the dosage is basically how much you're intaking. Now, you may be intaking way too much of one thing, and you may be not taking in enough of another thing. If you have a deficiency in something, you're most likely having some sort of problem. And if you're having an overconsumption of something, you're most likely having a completely different form of a problem. Alright guys, if you like the content and you like the video, go ahead and like or comment if you have any questions on the bottom. And go ahead and subscribe so we can go from this setup to something a little bit better and more professional. So thank you for your support, and take care guys.